kind of missing the point there, buddy.
Hello, this is definitely actually Elon Musk. I took time away from attempting to outbreed you all to try out this game I have been hearing so much about.
Hello, I am Logan with Ace in Your Hole Gaming, and today we're going to find out if you can beat Fallout 4 as Elon Musk. Short answer, of course you can.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It was a lot of fun, but
Nah, hang on there. I wasn't done yet.
War.
Look, Muskie, it's a fun game. You'll like it. I promise. Plus, if you don't, you have to get a vasectomy.
please God, no. I can't do that. I only have 12 kids.
Then just play the game and we're even.
Whatever.
Right, so, as I was saying, of course you can beat Fallout 4 role-playing as most characters. This video isn't as much about the challenge of completing Fallout 4.
Shut up, peasant. No one is here to listen to you.
Jesus, dude, you don't have to be mean. You aren't even real.
After too much time messing around with this rudimentary facial editing program, I eventually decided that this was sufficient and began the real game.
Don't say that.
Don't say what?
Don't say, and the real game begins, or anything about beginning the real game now, or just don't word it like that. Maybe if the moment is right. Those just aren't our words to use.
Well, we got into the tutorial section, and I provided my child with his designated allotment of paternal care. I answered the door, and the representative warned me of the impending doom, and he invited me and my family to join the local vault. I hoped I would have enough time to make more than one child with adult females in the neighborhood before the world ends, and we get sealed in a vault. The more of me, the better. I picked the code name I'd use if was a futuristic walrus spy and allocated my points accordingly. I had a few specific perks I wanted to go for, though if this were a true representation of me, I'd have more points and luck. I decided to go spend time with the child again. Despite giving him his daily allotment of paternal affection, I am feeling generous today, hoping perhaps I could get much of my required fatherly attention out of the way early. That way I could focus on repopulating the wasteland. My wife made the unproductive suggestion of going to the park, but it doesn't look like that would be on the agenda anyway. In no time at all, some troubling news made the nuclear threat much more imminent. To ensure the proliferation of my seed, I selflessly booked it, with no regard for my wife or child, to ensure that my superior sperm-producing testicle survived. Luckily, my wife and child made it in time too, and we descended into the vault with not a moment to spare. I tried to get a look around the elevator to evaluate our breeding stock, but the camera froze. When we got into the welcome lobby, I was quite impressed with the engineering and construction of these vaults. I was eager to see more and pondered briefly if I could build similar structures myself.
Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, constructing a vast underground bunker does sound like something you'd do.
By these cryopods.
Right, folks? Doesn't that sound like something he'd do?
I think these are cryopods.
Anyway, I took a little nap, then woke up, and then someone appeared to kill my wife and kidnap my son.
So in an effort to protect my progeny, I vowed to reclaim my son, as well as produce more children with many more women, just in case. In time, I was released from my cryogenic slumber, and began the task of looting the entire vault, for every resource within, everything I could carry, including my wife's wedding ring. My early game strategy seems pretty well outlined for me. So Logan, if you would please.
Right, so it's an Elon Musk roleplay. How would he play the game? What decisions would he make? Written as though he himself is playing it. High intelligence, because I bet he would want to play with laser weapons if he had the chance. I need some charisma, because he's going to make some money. I'll get some magazines, I'll get some bobbleheads, but I don't have all day. I'm not going to fiddle around setting everything up perfectly. I'm not going to take the time to do a super precise and true-to-life roleplay. I'm just going to try out some things with a game I love and hopefully have some fun doing it. Alright, Elon, where were we?
Like, killed some absolutely humongous cockroaches, made a mental note to return shortly with a magic lock-picking dog, found a computer bracelet, and escaped the vault. Had decided to change my name to something more radioactive. I am now futuristic nightclub bouncer Laser Mammoth. I got back to our hometown, and decided we needed to take some time to establish a base.
You don't have to do that right now. We've got things to do.
Respectfully, Logan, I don't know what's out there, and with this entire town at my disposal, I want to set myself up for success. I can get this town ready for a manageable populace. I will then lead a commune, and within each home, I can place a woman that...
Elon!
It's Neon in this game. Neon Tusk.
You're getting ahead of yourself. Just move the cooking pit up to the yellow house, and go back to your house to get the book. Put it wherever you want, buddy. Okay, then go to Concord and go to the speakeasy. There's a laser pistol in there, and the X cell is handy too. Then go help Preston. Do you want to take Codsworth with you?
Yeah, Codsworth can come.
Alright, let's bring Codsworth.
Why won't you come with me?
Oh yeah, you have to do some things first. Well, you can go get dog meat and try that cryolator thing. Ooh boy, we have got to work on your cardio. You'd think if you'd been training for a fight or something, your cardio would be a little better. Whatever happened to that whole Mark Zuckerberg thing?
He chickened out.
Yeah, I bet. I wonder what he'd have to say about it.
I can't get dog meat to pick the lock.
You have to bring him into the room, shut the door, and then tell him to search for items.
Oh, cool. Okay then, moving on, I came into Concord and almost got killed by giant mosquitoes. I made a point to go to the speakeasy for a laser pistol.
It's pronounced speakeasy.
I only intend to use basic ballistic weapons until I acquire enough ammunition for my laser pistol, and then that'll be my primary. The cryolator will be for emergencies.
Hey Logan, where's this laser pistol?
I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
I found a combat knife underneath a man who died attempting to have intercourse with a mannequin. But I can't find this laser pistol.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe it got patched out. Or it's behind the locked door, I'm not sure. You can at least go get the laser musket from Preston. Don't forget the first aid kit hidden in the dirt, and the day tripper in the sink. Go help Preston. You gotta get through the story.
I entered the Museum of Freedom, killed some raiders, looting anything of value on my way out, and had to start over from the main entrance. I made a mental note to quick save more often. I did, however, find a bobby pin box and decided to go back to the speakeasy to check that locked door. Or loot behind the locked door and in the safe. But no lasers.
I dropped off some loot in Sanctuary, then went back to the museum.
I could have sworn there's supposed to be a laser pistol in there. Might be fake news.
I made my way through until I caught up with Preston and company. These folks will make adequate workers on my commune, and this woman, Marcy, could make a suitable fetus incubator. I made sure to grab the perception bubble head before making my way to the roof. Once I got the power armor and minigun, I cheesed the Deathclaw fight, and met up with Preston back in the museum lobby. After I sent everyone back to Sanctuary, I decided to cheese the civic access entrance a few times to see if I could get a halfway decent legendary weapon.
Dude, no, come on. We don't have time for this. You aren't getting any energy weapons from them, and I don't have all day. Just go meet Paladin Dance so you can get the Righteous Authority.
Fine, we'll go play with Buzz Lightyear. But first I'm going to start setting up my commune in Sanctuary so I can put these settlers to work.
Elon, man, come on.
It's Neon here.
Right, yeah, Laser Mammoth. Look, man, you need to level up a little so you can get the local leader and cap collector perks anyway. Just please play the game. We can play around in Sanctuary when you come back here to drop loot. Then you can set some people up as vendors and start putting your businesses together. Just go meet up with Dance and get started on his quest.
You better not give me a vasectomy when we're all done with this.
My way to the Cambridge police station. I stopped to sell my radioactive food to trash can call out, and then decided to try and help Trudy at the diner.
With some decent charisma and a bottle of beer, I was able to solicit all of his money from him, but he wouldn't leave, so he had to die. I made my way to Cambridge and sat back while I watched Dan stick out all of the ghouls. He thanked me for my assistance, and I gladly took credit for this, despite doing nothing, which is one of the many talents I've honed over my impressive life. I looted the police station, and I managed to pick up a laser rifle somewhere before following the Paladin. We made our way to Arcjet, where I again let him do most of the work, being content to sit back and just follow him collecting ammo and loot. I decided to let him do his thing for a few minutes before I turned on the engines because I want to come away from here with a lot of ammo.
Don't waste too much time, man. I got stuff to do.
Why are you in such a hurry?
You know what? How about this? You're getting a lot of ammo from this, fine, but after this you have to ditch your ballistic weapons. Energy weapons only. No melee, no grenades.
What? Why?
Because I said so. We have to make this a challenge gameplay video somehow. If you use anything other than energy weapons, you have to get a vasectomy.
Come on, man, at least let me use grenades.
How about cryo, pulse, and plasma grenades? Maybe that's okay. But energy weapons only, or you're getting the big snip.
I need to make more kits.
Bro, you have like a dozen kids. You're fine. So just stop putting your dick in people and play the damn game.
Right, I suppose this is a sufficient pile of bodies. There is bound to be a lot of energy cells in there. I collected the ammo and a couple weapons and took the elevator up. I let Dance clear the room, grabbed the thingy off the guy, and collected my reward from Buzz Lightyear. I fast traveled back to Sanctuary to ditch all of my collected loot.
And the normal guns and grenades.
And the normal guns and grenades. I believe I am going to side with the Brotherhood for now. They seem focused on the preservation of technology, which I think is valuable in this wasteland.
I think you should do the Cabot House quest next.
I thought you were in a hurry for me to do the main quest.
I am, but you can get a cool weapon, and there's also the charisma bobblehead on Jack's desk.
I want to take the robot with me.
Alright, you can take Codsworth. Go do the Cabot House quest.
When I began this quest, I sweet-talked a man through and entered him into letting me in his house. Then I went and took care of some wasteland degenerates and acquired the package his courier had lost.
I returned to their home and agreed to go find this missing woman.
Before you do that, you should stop at Mass Fusion along the way.
Why?
Because you can pick up a bobblehead in there that'll make you all big and strong, and you're gonna need that if you're going to take on Zuckerberg.
Okay, got it.
Alright, now head to Good Neighbor and kill the first guy that talks to you immediately.
Why?
Because he deserves it.
After I executed the Walmart greeter, I proceeded to the local bar where I found a woman who would make an adequate incubator for more of my progeny. So I provided her with the necessary persuasive language to convince her that I was formidable breeding stock. After our encounter in local hotel, I sought her out at the bar to inquire about this other woman I am seeking. If she is young enough, perhaps she would breed with me as well.
Young enough. That's funny.
Why?
She might be too old for you, but then again, you might not care. Just continue the quest.
I spoke more with Magnolia, and continuing to speak to incubators is generally not something I am fond of unless I need something else from them, which was the case in this instance.
Now you get to save her from a cult. While you're there, steal the green shirt and boots. Boosts your charisma and your endurance.
What kind of cult?
What did you call it? The woke mind virus.
He must be stopped.
Yeah, sure, Slugger. Get him.
After I purged the Commonwealth of this communist filth, I returned to Cabot House, where Jack informed me that he has a serum harvested from his immortal father that allows them to halt aging. I wondered if that meant Timogene's ovaries are still functional.
Dude, you're so autistic it's hard for me to believe you're a real human being sometimes. Though I am curious what option you would choose here.
What are the choices?
You can free Jack's dad and get a daily supply of the serum, or you can kill him and get a cool gamma gun.
Immortality or a cool gun? I can get lots of cool guns in this game. I'll free his father.
Yeah, that tracks.
This way I can continue to breed with women indefinitely and make generations of posterity.
Sure, whatever you say, champ. Just hurry up. And don't forget the bobblehead on Jack's desk.
Can I please use some of these other weapons?
I guess, as long as you're okay with getting the big snip.
Don't be afraid. A little snip, snip, and it will all be over.
I can always just get it reversed.
You sure you want to take that chance? Reversals can cause issues.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
I'll just stick to laser guns for now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What should I do next?
Head to the Boston Public Library and get the intelligence bobblehead.
Can I work on my settlements for a little bit? I need to acquire resources and develop a marketplace.
And I get why that would be important to you, but I don't have all day. Go do some quests for Preston. Clear out a few settlements, check out the cave under the Red Rocket, level up once or twice, and then head to the Boston Public Library. Oh, you want to see something cool though? Go to the Slog, set up a bunch of turrets on this roof. Then pick a fight with the Enclave next door. You can get a bunch of overpowered gear.
I could really use this. This is cool. I'm like a low vegetarian man.
I don't know if you should use it though. It is pretty OP.
Why do you keep imposing new restrictions?
I guess you can use the power armor. It would fit the roleplay. I feel like that's something you would do. Maybe you can use it for Dunwich Moors. I am surprised a settlement quest would send you here though.
What happened here?
More cult stuff. The woke mob is worshipping Cthulhu's toothbrush.
I don't feel bad about taking out all of these raiders.
I figured you wouldn't. Now go to the public library and make yourself smarter.
So is the real game going to begin now?
Don't say that. But yeah, you were going to roll with the Brotherhood, right?
They seem concerned with the preservation of technology, which I feel would be very valuable in this environment.
You know what you can do in a toaster oven?
Yeah, we've done a good amount of pre-game prep, and I don't have all day. Go do some main quest stuff with the Brotherhood.
Can I kill Knight Reese?
Yeah, I know. F that guy. But no, not yet anyway.
So I need to do fetch quests for these two grunts.
Basically, yeah.
This is beneath me.
Dude, don't even start. It's not so bad. Just get through it. We don't all get to be Nepo babies. Some of us have to start at the bottom.
I worked hard to build my businesses.
Oh, I'm sure. And a loan from your apartheid benefiting emerald mining dad sure helped.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Now that you've started with the Brotherhood, you can't get on the blimp until after you finish Act 1. So it's time to find your wife's murderer.
Find my what?
Your missing son's incubator.
Oh yeah, that. What about her?
She was killed by a guy. Remember?
I remember my progeny being taken. This game has a serious lack of fetus-producing mechanics.
I'm sure there's a mod for that. You can at least romance a few companions.
Really? Interesting.
That's not what we're doing here. Please continue.
I got through the gate after meeting another potential breeding companion, so I stopped by her office to foster our eventual connection. Her sister informed me there was an investigator in town who could help me find my child, and I decided to do the interview with Piper per her request while present, thinking perhaps it would get me on her good side. I gave her an authentic word of encouragement, and my robot butler decided to tell me he likes me more. Weird, considering that a bad sign. I decided to dismiss him in favor of Piper.
Please do not go out of your way to f the companions.
Onward to meet with the investigator, and I came upon a scene in the square. It was an ominous indicator of trouble to come. Well, waste not, want not. I took the valuable items off the corpse since no one else wanted it, and continued with the quest. I went to the investigator's office only to learn that he was missing too. Great, more fetch quests.
That's not getting old anytime soon.
Headed to the subway station, and looted the place while relying on Piper as my bullet sponge. Made my way to the vault entrance, and started making my way through it. I overheard these two gentlemen discuss business ethics. Made a mental note to potentially implement their business strategies before executing them both. Eventually, I made my way up to the man I was sent here to find, while assuming I was looking for an actual man. Instead, I found this horrific robotic abomination. He still agreed to help me, but I might be hesitant of these synth creatures. I feel like giving sentience to robots could be potentially dangerous. Regardless, I had no choice but to follow him for now. We made our way through the vault, executed the gangsters who captured Nick, and moved on, though while I was clearing the vault, I took everyone's clothes and weapons to outfit my settlers, promoting Piper from the roll of bullets punch to pack mule. This is all rather strange.
What is it, Muskie?
They really expect me to go through all this work to find my child? I can just make a new one.
I mean, I suppose, but it's a numbers game with you, right? More is better. That's one of your kids out there with the potential to further your legacy or whatever. Isn't that something that matters to people like you?
I suppose, but this kid might just be dead. In the same amount of time, I could convince Piper to give me another child though and just focus on keeping that one alive.
I'll give you a mild spoiler. Your kid is still alive, and we've got an M. Night Shyamalan twist coming up.
Well, after convincing the mayor's secretary to give me the key to this stranger's house, Nick and I ransacked it, and I took a nap in his bed. Nick asked if he could come with me, and I told him to get lost, because I still need Piper for reasons. We exited the building, and the dog had just been summoned magically somehow, and onward we went. We made it to Fort Hagen, but before I continued, I wanted to be prepared to confront the man who stole my child and deactivated my fetus incubator. I knew this would be a difficult fight, so I made a pit stop in Sanctuary for supplies, and while I was there, I took some time to make some money and build some structures.
Dude, I don't have time for this.
You keep saying that. Why are you in such a hurry?
You don't get it. You could have no concept of what this is like. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this in my free time. If you spend your time romancing companions and building settlements, making this video and editing it just becomes a longer process. I love this game, but I've got things to do. I'm not going to pretend I'm as smart as you, and if my dad had been an apartheid-benefiting emerald mine owner, I probably wouldn't have found quite the same degree of success in my life as you have with yours. People can question your ethics and your politics, I certainly do, but you seem to have allocated your resources wisely and made the most of your advantageous beginnings for yourself. But we don't all get silver spoons at birth, and I don't want to end up with a 45-minute video because you spend 3 hours trying to bang Kate.
Who is Kate?
She isn't your type.
Well, then maybe we take some shortcuts. This is an Elon Musk roleplay.
I did kind of want to do an honest playthrough and not take advantage of exploits, but shortcuts do seem like it would fit the bill. Let me show you how to multiply your resources infinitely.
That would help with making my settlements profitable.
Alright, so scrap something down to its raw components. Then drop the steel or springs or whatever on the ground in a settlement. Then hit the scrap button, but don't release it. At the same time you release the scrap button, hit the store button. Both text boxes should come up with one overlaid on the other, and then you have to scrap and then store. This doubles the amount of resources you have. Might take you a couple of tries to get the timing down. I think it's easier on a controller than it is on a keyboard, but it's really just preference. I'm glad this exploit never got patched out because it's super handy if you're big on settlement building.
Wow, that can get out of hand really fast.
Yeah, exponential growth. It's great. Also, why don't you use this to grind a few levels before the Kellogg fight? Now that that's out of the way, go find the guy that took your kid. This scrap, spring and silver, kind of looks like a dick and balls.
Back at Fort Hagen, I found a subterranean pharmaceutical distribution center and acquired samples for research purposes. This den was reminiscent of certain corners of Twitter headquarters before I took over. This dog took out a turret by himself. Anyway, I made my way into the fort. Anyone who is actually watching this video knows how this stuff goes. Took out some synths, activated a protectron with my elite hacking skills, let Piper soak up some bullets and lasers for me, picked up the energy weapons bobblehead, and made my way to Kellogg. He gave me a decent fight, maybe not as difficult as I thought it would be.
No more using power armor. Too easy.
Back at Sanctuary, some raiders attacked and I did nothing to really help. Despite this, I took all of the credit, which I am still good at. One of my settlers did send this guy flying though, so that was cool. Ditched the power armor, ditched some other gear, upgraded a few things, manufactured a sizable volume of pharmaceuticals for distribution, and headed to Diamond City to build my wealth. Then I could continue the quest with this robot man.
His name is Nick, and he is one of the coolest companions in Bethesda games.
He's a threat to the human race. Androids with sentience are a grave danger to the humans.
As much as nuclear war? Right now, I kind of think humans are the greatest threat to humans.
If I have a chance to remove them from this wasteland, I will do it.
Then you're on the right track siding with the Brotherhood. While you're in Good Neighbor, sell more drugs and see if you can find some better armor.
At the memory dentist, I had to witness this perfectly functional fetus incubator flirt with an android man. Despicable. Getting ready for the memory den immersion, I selected the sarcastic response at every opportunity and prepared to enter the Matrix.
It's actually more like that one Max Payne mission than it is the Matrix.
I just ran through each stage as fast as I could to get through this.
I'm going to change our tone a little here. I really like this sequence because although Kellogg is technically an NPC, it shows us that his life is much more complex than we knew. In real life, no one is an NPC. Every passerby at the train station, in the airport, every stranger on the street, your cashier at the gas station, the customer service representative on the phone, your coworker's brother, and your mom's former best friend's sister's coworker's second cousin, every one of us has a deep and intricate life full of success and failure, hopes and dreams, grief, trauma, sadness, and happiness, far beyond what we could imagine without having a conversation with them. Sonder is the word for this.
I am the main character of the Earth, though.
I could believe you feel that way.
This scene is chilling, and I should really be able to execute Nick for this.
Oh hey, Deacon was in here. I didn't know that.
I want to go for a ride on the blimp.
Alright, Muskie, let's go to the blimp.
The game crashed.
Of course it did. Well, we were doing pretty good up until now. Give me a second here. Don't worry, buddy, we'll get you on that blimp.
Second attempt on the vertibird, we made it there, and I was rather impressed with the engineering in this landscape. The fact that this craft managed to stay aloft with such limited resources was impressive. I proceeded to the bridge to meet with Elder Maxon. He seemed like a well-spoken man. Really speaks his mind. The synths need to be destroyed, the feral ghouls and the super mutants are a problem, and we can cleanse the Commonwealth.
Dude!
I was surprised to see Piper standing at attention. I started talking to Dance, accidentally dismissed Piper, and since the game knew that would lessen my chances of breeding with her, the game crashed again. Trying again on the flying boat, I had a physical and metacomputer specialist. I looted the ship, found a guy levitating with the power of his farts, and found a paraplegic woman upright in an exoskeleton that I would consider hiring as an engineer for Tesla or SpaceX if the circumstances were different. She gave me another suit of power armor.
Drop it off in Sanctuary as soon as you're done here.
Yes, boss. I met with the Elder again and then gave Piper some genuine Gen Z riz working towards getting all up in that sweaty, probably hairy wasteland.
Bro, stop. We have stuff to do.
Moving on. Piper and I went to Fort Strong. We laughed, we cried. I tried to get Piper in a closet, found an awesome gun I can't use, and promptly gifted it to Piper in the hopes it could expedite our mating. I cleared Fort Strong and was quite underwhelmed with the lack of rewards for clearing a former military armory.
Yeah, man, I actually thought that too. Every time I clear it, I feel like I'm always expecting a ton of weapons and a bunch of mini nukes. It's never as good as I'm expecting.
I'm gonna take Piper in this elevator.
Can you not? My nephew's probably going to see this video.
I gave the nerd some of his favorite treats and turned in the quest to God Emperor Maxon.
Don't forget to take that armor off.
I need it for the glowing sea.
Alright, whatever.
I'm gonna switch it for the better set though.
Whatever, dude. Knock yourself out, I guess.
On the way there, I gave my toy incubator a death claw to play with, and once I got a good fast travel location, I paid a visit to my old buddy Lorenzo for some more juice.
I think it's interesting that you're using chems.
Everyone knows I'm a recreational drug user because of that one time on Joe Rogan's podcast when I took one toke of a marijuana cigarette.
Yeah, alright. I guess that tracks.
Back to the glowing sea, I killed a ton of Enclave soldiers with Piper, made her pick up all the gear, found the children of Adam, and they gave me the quest marker for the big man himself, Virgil. Just before the entrance to Virgil's cave, I encountered a legendary Deathclaw. With cryo grenades in the cryolator, it was easier than I expected. Inside the cave, I discovered this scientist I was considering hiring for SpaceX ended up being a filthy mutant. I suppose I could look past this as long as his work was exemplary, but first I had to figure out how he could get me into the Institute. He put me on the trail of a Coursera Computer Fundamentals course. This video today is brought to you by Coursera Online Coursework.
No, it isn't. No one is giving me money for this.
Why would you do anything not for money?
I'm playing the long game, Elon, trying to build my brand. The brand of a guy who tolerates playing video games with Elon Musk. And sometimes, the best things in life are free, like crippling existential dread and the crushing weight of late-stage capitalism. Some of us have to keep the simulation running, even if the pay is terrible. Plus, I get a little joy watching you try to apply SpaceX management practices to post-apocalyptic Boston. Also, we're looking for an Institute courser. I'm not doing my Coursera homework right now.
So I made my way through CIT and completed my Coursera Online Certificate course by pumping this courser full of lasers.
Stop shouting them out. They aren't giving me any money. In fact, I'm giving them money.
Dr. Amory told me to take the courser chip to the railroad, so I Googled the location of the Old North Church instead of following the Freedom Trail, then used pharmaceutical assistants to convince their leader I wasn't a threat, and then executed them all immediately.
Dude, you have to take the power armor off. It's making the game way too easy.
In real life, I would absolutely use a giant mechanized suit of armor, so this is true to the roleplay.
Then we're at least bumping up the difficulty from normal to hard.
I suppose this is acceptable. Back in Virgil's cave, I pondered if I should expand from engineering industries into biosciences, make vaccines and gene therapy and the like.
That's an interesting idea. You making vaccines?
Back on the blimp, I convinced the Brotherhood to help me build this device. There was no dialogue option to pay Procter Ingram to build the device for me, so I had to pick up these strange tools and do it myself.
You mean a wrench?
Is that what it's called? Well, the design specs were pretty self-explanatory. I went and found the circuit board, sensor module, and bioscanner. Then I finished the build and beamed into the Institute. Curious. I wonder how far away we are from teleportation tech.
Maybe you should start working on it.
Maybe I will. Anyway, turns out my son is the leader of the Institute.
Really? You aren't blown away?
I shouldn't be surprised. There is no discernible timeline between when my son was kidnapped and when I woke up. Sure, Kellogg looked about the same, but he was also a cyborg, so his aging being slowed was not out of the realm of possibility. I could see my son Damien becoming the leader of an institution such as this someday. My mother thinks he is brighter than I am.
What do you think your kid Vivian is going to do?
We don't talk about them.
Well, maybe you should.
I can't help but be impressed with the engineering of this place. I took my son's invitation to look around and was very impressed with the departments and how they all work together. Though Advanced Systems is kind of a vague name.
Yeah, just change the subject.
I got history lessons from the various department heads. I tried to charm my way into Madison Lee's pants and it didn't work. I decided not to blackmail her for the Brotherhood at this moment. And I also chose not to deliver the malware tape that Procter Ingram gave me, but I still had to insert it to proceed. I might seek to ally myself with this institution.
That doesn't surprise me.
They have robot gorillas. This is incredible, so I'm gonna go get this synth for my son. It feels weird calling him my son now, and I'm disappointed that he hasn't provided me with dozens of grandchildren yet, but that's okay. I'm still viable enough to make him some siblings. I did the quest for him to find a naughty synth. Next was the Battle of Bunker Hill.
You should know that if you side with the Institute here, you will eventually become enemies of the Brotherhood. You sure you're siding with the Institute?
Absolutely, though. Maybe I'll do some side quests for the Brotherhood.
Dude, no. This video is already going to be like a half-hour long, and I'd be surprised if it's seen by more people than you have kids.
Lucky for your viewer numbers, I plan to have several more children. Piper is going to want to be my incubator soon.
Oh joy. I'm sure we're all thrilled at the idea. Just go kill everyone at Bunker Hill.
Luckily, the Brotherhood isn't out to get me yet, so I just ignored them while I killed all of the railroad soldiers. The escaped synths misunderstood their programmed free will and attempted to beg for their lives. I proceeded to issue them all their recall codes. Then I made my way to CIT.
Hey, can we pause here for a second? Let me just take over for a moment. There's something I've always wanted to do.
All right, here you go.
Just gotta drop a hard save here, because we're going to need to reload this when I'm done. But we've got a long road ahead of us, Father.
What are you doing?
Taking our baby boy home.
This can't be real.
Damn, Deathclaw. I have to start over. Might have to drop a few quick saves. All right, here we go again. Okay, how far are we? Oh my god, okay, alright, almost halfway. How is it that these synths already know I'm an enemy of the Institute? How does anyone back there know that Father is dead?
Well, you are dragging his corpse across the wasteland,
Shut up, Elon, I'm busy.
and you were worried about me wasting time.
This is important. I've wanted to do this ever since I saw it on Reddit a few years ago. Piper, get out of my way. This is important.
Don't talk about my third favorite fetus incubator like that.
Alright, we're almost there. Made it to Sanctuary. What? Where's the crib? Elon, you scrapped the crib?
It served no purpose anymore, and I needed the resources.
This whole event hinged on placing him back in his crib. I needed to do this. Okay, hang on. It looks like I can craft a new crib. Crisis averted. There we go, baby Sean. Welcome home. Can we take him to go see Mom? Nope, it looks like he just despawns. Let me try something else. Maybe if I'm holding him when we go down? Nope, still despawns. Oh well, maybe someone can spawn him in with console commands. If anyone wants to do this and get footage of Sean down in the vault, drop a link to your video or a YouTube short in the comments. Alright, Elon, back to you.
Once again, it's Neon. What a colossal waste of time.
You wouldn't get it.
Back on the roof, we can continue the actual game. My son invites me back into the Institute, where he promotes me to director in waiting after he dies. This means that producing more offspring is now of paramount importance, as Sean has not produced additional progeny.
Before you do, you should go back to Sanctuary and install a jetpack on your power armor.
I need a few points in science and armor for that.
Well then, you best get level grinding.
I can't believe you waited this long to tell me I can build a jetpack.
By the way, now you're an enemy of the Brotherhood.
It's a shame I couldn't at least recruit Proctor Ingram. But so be it. The Institute is clearly the superior choice. They are the best hope for the Commonwealth.
I hate that you're probably right on paper, but they are not the most morally correct option.
Your feelings don't matter for the survival and proliferation of the human race.
Sure, that sounds like something you'd say.
I made my way through mass fusion, and Piper decided she loved me. So now after we produce offspring, I can begin working on a new romantic companion.
Dude, we are so close to the end of the game. Let's just get this over with.
Who is Kate?
Please just finish the quest.
Why did you have me build a jetpack?
Because there's something in mass fusion that you can only get with a jetpack, and I forgot to show you where it is.
It's still pretty cool.
Just go talk to Sean.
I have to go make the Minutemen stand down. Luckily, my cool hat and fancy glasses make me charismatic as hell, and it also helped me convince this scientist guy to join us. Back in the Institute, I spoke to Daddy Descendant, and he had me record a speech to give to the Commonwealth. If only I could do something like this with people's cell phones or something. Buying Twitter was as close as I could get. Maybe after Neuralink is widespread, I can beam my consciousness into everyone's head. After that, he sent me to the radio station in Diamond City to hijack their signal. Using my advanced and complex engineering knowledge, I Googled what order to put in the radio equipment and went back to speak with Sean to get things going. I'm apprehensive about increasing synth production. I think AI sentience is concerning and potentially very dangerous. Thankfully, this voice isn't sentient yet. The world isn't ready for a sentient AI based on a satirical cover of Elon Musk. Imagine if this video was the start of Skynet, based on this iteration of Musk. Wouldn't that be a treat for humanity? Anyway, as far as synth production, as long as there are safeguards in place, this is still the best course of action. At the airport, I had no choice but to kill Proctor Ingram. I would have talked her into joining the Institute, were it not for the fact that I had lasers coming at me from all sides. Slowly but surely, we killed as many Brotherhood members as they could throw at us. I sadly had to execute President Donald Maxon for the greater good, and we hacked this giant mech. It vowed to execute all communists. The Brotherhood exploded. I said goodbye to my son, and we beat Fallout 4 as Elon Musk.
Do you even understand that you were promoting communism in this game?
What do you mean? I would never do that. Take that back.
You were setting up a commune in your settlement. That's communism.
That's different. It's for fetus production.
Whatever, man. I can't with you anymore. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Now I can focus on building out all of my settlements and crafting my business empire.
What?
And soliciting numerous infant incubators to promote my seed.
Hang on.
The real game begins now.
Don't say that. Look, dude, it's over. The game is over. This video is already going to be like 40 minutes long. I'm happy we did this. This was a fun experience, but it's time to move on.
This wouldn't be a true Elon Musk roleplay without me at least becoming a billionaire business tycoon.
You want a lot of money? Is that really what this is all about? All right. For the whole game, I only had this one mod installed. But tell you what, let's go get a new mod. There. Now we have a cheat terminal. Let's max out your caps. Can't make you a billionaire in this game, but that should be enough for you to crash the in-game economy.
I suppose I can make do with this.
Alright, then let's wrap this up. If you made it all this way, thank you so much for watching. This was fun to make, and if this gets some traction, I have a few more ideas for other videos I'd like to make and other big personalities I want to spoof. So if you want to see more, like, subscribe, comment down below what you liked about it or what you didn't like. I also want to give a shout out to my wife. She is an incredibly talented tattoo artist in Edmonton, Alberta, and I've linked her business page and her Instagram in the description. Even if you never plan on coming to Edmonton to get a tattoo, just going to her Instagram and liking a few posts would be a huge help. My favorites are Chibi Iron Man and this fruit bat sleeve. Lastly, I'd like it a lot if you could check out my personal blog. Just click the link in the description and check out the story I'm using to honor my late older brother. With a novelization of Skyrim's Blood on the Ice quest, I'm keeping my brother alive in my own way. Even if you don't read the story, just visiting the webpage for a second helps me out greatly. Plus, I've got a shop set up, linked to that blog, with a lot of really cool stuff in it, and more on the way. If this gets more views than Elon has children, I can probably talk my wife into collaborating with me in this shop and marketing some of her beautiful art. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for making it this far. We're all in this together.